It's Our Story. Don Russell, Denver, Colorado.
The last year of segregation was 1969. So I just missed that. And remember, I said as I turned my back on my brothers and sisters, that I considered myself a socially conscious person. And of course, 3 channels, ABC, NBC, and CBS, and I was watching the Vietnam War and, the women's rights, movement and all of that. But right there in the South, we didn't know about, we didn't learn about the civil rights movement. We knew, about it, but it wasn't something talked about in school or anything like that. But the very hospital that both David and I were born in, we lived in the same county. I lived in Crowder, Mississippi, and David lived in Marks, which was the county seat. But there was one hospital, and it was between Crowder and Marks, and it was in a place called Lambert. Well, David and I were born in the same hospital 15 years apart, okay? In that hospital, in my lifetime, you're talking from 1965 to sometimes in the mid-70s, that hospital was segregated, okay? And so I learned very early on, because we would go through the back door, right? Because it was accessible. Well, guess what I got to see where the people going through the front door missed was the segregation. I'm sure everybody else knew, but I wanted to know why I was going here, why the white people were here, and why the blacks were back there. And so that I did experience up until the mid-70s, right there. And, Marks, and I'm going to go back there. I'm going to go back there one day, and I'm going to do something about, like you're doing, and all of this. But today, the mule train, started there in Marks, Mississippi, that whole march to Washington. And do you know there's not one marker? It's not taught in school or anything else. To me, that's pretty incredible. This man, David here, he's one of my favorite people because he was born in 1951. Well, when he was just a little boy, and all of this stuff was going on, with the mule train, they were there for about I think they say a week or 10 days or something as people gathered to get ready for the trip. David's dad was the town, he worked for the sheriff's department. And so David stands at the back door with the gun in his hand, because he was told to not, he doesn't even hunt, you know what I'm saying? So it was very unlike him, but they had the fear of, of the blacks coming and burning down the houses because that's what he was told. I mean, so that kind of thing. But to know that that is such an important place in history, never mind the civil rights movement, but just in history, and that it's not to this day recognized, but yeah. So if your original question was, did I know of any of that kind of stuff going on? Yeah. And so I'd like to go back one day and, erect some kind of something that commemorates that, and that people know that that's where the history is. David and I went home, I turned 40 on June 26th. Well, David and I go home, and we're there and killing. I don't know if you remember that over the summer, but he was tried for killing the COFO workers, as they refer to them back home. That trial was going on, right? During our last visit, my 40th birthday, and I go home and they convict him of killing those civil rights workers. And here David and I are, and we're in a town, or I in the county that I was born in, and David in his hometown, and there were flags flying, the rebel flags and all of this stuff, and we're just sitting there going, oh my God, these people are in mourning because they just convicted murder, and so what an impact. And David's mom is 86 years old, and it was very interesting, the dialogue that happened with that. And someday I'll write about it. I won't ever implicate her in this or anything like that, but I, unlike David, had to sit there with a God-fearing woman that raised him to be this wonderful human being that he is, and we had to hear the truth about how people feel. And then I kind of sit back and I go, okay, that's why it takes so long to get anything done, because people really feel this way. And her a quote that she made to me, and I hope with the edit of this, and I certainly don't mind it being repeated, but her quote, and I'm pretty emotional, and of course I had to celebrate and go, oh, hell yeah, they got him and all this stuff. And she stood there and she looked at me and she said, you forced me to say it. She said, the white race is superior. And I have never felt so bad in my life as to look over at David and him know that that's not true. So, I mean, imagine that. That's just this summer, so it's there.
The It's Our Story project is a national effort to make disability history public and accessible. Visit us at www.itsourstory.org or on the It's Our Story project YouTube channel.